Are you ready? The game is changing. Those who tried to silence you, who twisted your name with lies, are now crumbling under the weight of their own deceit. The stage is set, and the spotlight is on the truth. While their towers of lies fall apart, your strength is shining brighter than ever. This is your time. Let's dive in together and uncover how the truth triumphs, how justice prevails, and how your rightful place is reclaimed with power and purpose. Falsehoods crumble when confronted with steadfast authenticity. Narratives spun to manipulate and distort often reveal the fragile foundations beneath their construction. Intentional distortions may aim to disorient and contain, but their artifice cannot withstand scrutiny. As light dissolves shadows, truth exerts an inherent strength that exposes deception. Efforts to bend reality often reflect their creators' limitations, revealing hollow frameworks. While accusations are aimed to wound, their resonance often falters, revealing a lack of substance. The intrinsic value of honesty consistently outweighs strategies built on false premises, leaving insincerity unsupported by the weight of truth. Those who attempt to undermine others are often driven not by flaws they see, but by the strength they fear. Insecurity blinds them to the brilliance of authenticity, forcing them to fabricate illusions meant to stifle what cannot be contained. They craft tales and distort truths, believing they can overshadow what makes others shine. However, they miscalculate a fundamental reality. The universe magnifies what is genuine. What they whisper in malice becomes an undeniable resonance, reverberating to places they never intended. Their attempts to suppress power only serve to highlight the emptiness within their own efforts. Deceptions meticulously constructed to entangle someone's identity inevitably falter when confronted by clarity. With time, every observer begins to notice the fractures, and the once hidden missteps become glaring. The same mechanisms designed to shape a false reality, whispered accusations, fabricated impressions, carefully maintained personas, transform into their own instruments of exposure. Without a single defensive action required, the strength of truth dismantles even the most elaborate schemes, its momentum unyielding and beyond manipulation. Their elaborate plans crumble under the strain of their own instability. Every accusation they launched was rooted not in truth, but in a relentless jealousy, dense and consuming. Each fabricated claim was a desperate grasp to anchor you within a false narrative, one incapable of holding the magnitude of your potential. They sought to cast you as the antagonist, believing that dimming your brilliance would erase the shadows they refused to confront. Yet you were never the villain in their story. You were the unyielding protagonist, the force they could neither replicate nor restrain. Their fabrications were more than simple falsehoods. They were designed as shackles, crafted meticulously to bind you within their distorted version of events. Every word was carefully placed, not to reflect reality, but to create a trap that could hold you back while they observed with misplaced pride. Why? Because your presence unsettled them. You refused to conform to their expectations, choosing instead to forge a new path entirely your own. That defiance, that autonomy, unnerved those who rely on dominance to maintain control. In their fear, they resorted to manipulation, constructing false narratives, distorting truths, and feeding harmful tales into eager ears. Their aim was clear: to diminish your light, to stifle your brilliance, all while their own inadequacies faded into the background. Their desperation betrayed them. They underestimated how transparent panic becomes when cloaked in deceit. The harder they pushed to obscure your strength, the more their efforts revealed their vulnerabilities. Their invented stories, intricate but hollow, collapsed under even the slightest scrutiny, exposing the deep cracks in their facade. Their relentless attempts to overshadow you only made your resilience shine brighter, a beacon in stark contrast to their faltering schemes. Now, the threads of their deceptions unravel before them, leaving them entangled in the chaos they created. While they sought to confine you, they only succeeded in spotlighting their failures, leaving no doubt about who truly held the power all along. You were not created to conform to expectations designed by others. Your purpose was always to redefine them. When divine intervention takes place, it is never subtle or restrained. It arrives with a force that shakes foundations and demands recognition. Every attempt to distort your truth and conceal their intentions turned into a resounding declaration of their dishonesty, exposing the depths of their schemes. They believed they could orchestrate your failure through whispers and accusations, yet their efforts only laid the groundwork for their own unraveling, as the consequences of their actions came back to them with undeniable force. Divine justice does not falter or act by chance. It moves with precision and unwavering intent. Their attempts to dismantle your character, parading their falsehoods as achievements, were merely the prelude to their undoing. The irony is unmistakable. Before they could claim their false victories, their illusions shattered, leaving their flaws exposed for all to witness. While they conspired in secrecy, their machinations became the very light that revealed their misdeeds. They intended to erase your presence, to cast you aside, but instead, their voices faltered, and their credibility crumbled beneath the weight of their deception. What they meant as betrayal became your triumph, elevated by a force greater than anything they could comprehend, leaving you thriving in the brilliance of your vindication. The individuals who once sought to sway public perception have now become the center of a grim spectacle, one where the onlookers are no longer impressed, but deeply disillusioned. Their grand performance, designed to deceive and manipulate, has unraveled, leaving them exposed as the architects of their own failure. The faces that once quietly supported their narrative are now questioning everything: their intentions, their character, and even their grasp on reality. Instead of admiration, they're met with judgment, their once controlled image shattered by the relentless revelation of truth. Their name circulates, but not for triumph. It echoes as a symbol of disgrace. The attention they fought to dominate has turned into an unyielding glare, highlighting every falsehood, every betrayal, and every calculated act of harm. They underestimated the power of quiet strength, mistaking it for weakness. What they saw as submission was, in reality, a deliberate refusal to engage on their terms. While they spent their energy trying to undermine you, you were silently growing, building a foundation so solid that their attacks only reinforced its strength. Their strategies collapsed under their own weight, leaving behind a trail of rubble. You didn't merely endure their deceit, you dismantled it, transforming every stone they threw into steps toward your ascent, standing firm as they faltered under the weight of their own undoing. This is just the beginning. Subscribe now and be part of something powerful. Their attempts to use words as weapons against you became the very sparks that ignited your determination. Every rumor they spread, every baseless accusation they hurled, served as fuel for the fire of your resilience. They wanted to witness your collapse, yet all they could do was watch in disbelief as you soared higher. Their confusion is almost amusing. How could you possibly rise when they put every effort into holding you down. They expected your silence to be the end, but instead, it became the starting point of your ascent. Now, their whispers have shifted, no longer predicting your failure, but marveling at your strength. Though their pride prevents them from admitting defeat, the truth is written in their uncertainty. They wonder how you overcame. But overcoming was never the aim. You thrived, rendering their schemes irrelevant. You never fit into the confines they set. You were always the one destined to transcend them. Toast to those who remain steadfast in their defiance, to the ones who refuse to fade into conformity. Life is not merely a stage where roles are assigned. It's a realm where creators rise, taking charge of the narrative. You've chosen not just to dream, but to embody the dream itself. Where others see limitations, you see boundless horizons waiting to be claimed. The world seeks leaders with vision, individuals whose energy reshapes what is possible. You are that force, paving trails where none existed, inspiring others to see the potential in paths once thought unreachable. You don't just follow the road, you are the road. Their actions have caught up with them, leaving them restless and consumed by their own missteps. They replay their words and choices endlessly, trapped in the chaos they created. What once appeared as confidence now reveals itself as insecurity, their bravado replaced by a creeping dread. They believed they could manipulate endlessly, but their schemes have tightened around them, exposing every flaw. Attempts to recover their footing only drag them deeper into the consequences of their actions, each excuse revealing more cracks in their facade. Their sense of control was an illusion, and now they are overwhelmed by the very chaos they thought they could command. The tables have turned not in silence, but in a dramatic unraveling of their plans, making it clear this was never your downfall. It is their reckoning. They sought to tarnish your name, but the destruction they unleashed has enveloped them instead. Every step they took to undermine you became the foundation for your rise. When higher forces move, they do so with purpose, reconfiguring everything to expose truth and amplify strength. Their carefully laid traps became a platform for your growth, and their narratives collapsed under the weight of your authenticity. The stage they constructed to portray you as weak is now illuminated with undeniable clarity. Your strength has taken center stage. The very lies they spread brought attention to the truth they wanted to hide, and their attempts to discredit you only revealed your resilience. What they handed you was not defeat, but an opportunity to demonstrate the unwavering power of truth, transforming their efforts into fuel for your ascent. Feel what it truly means to be chosen. You're not alone on this journey. If deep down you feel that you're chosen, you've come to the right place. Take the next step in connecting with us, unlocking exclusive content, and receiving the support you need on your spiritual path by clicking the Join button. This isn't just about being part of a community. It's about accessing unique insights that can transform your life and bring you closer to your divine calling. Make the choice today and walk this journey with us. Claim your place among the chosen ones. Join now. Their efforts to undermine you turned into stepping stones for your rise, elevating you to heights they could never imagine. Every plan they devised to weaken you only highlighted the cracks in their own foundation. What they intended as your downfall became the momentum behind your ascent. The universe aligned in ways they couldn't predict, flipping their intentions into a profound declaration of your strength. Their attempts to extinguish your light only served to brighten your path, and the crowd they rallied against you now witnesses a transformation so undeniable that it silences all falsehoods. They underestimated the force of your truth, unknowingly handing you the means to build what they could never possess. Their attacks became the framework for your triumph, as the universe reshaped their malice into a testament of your resilience. What they meant for destruction now stands as the foundation of your victory, a shift so profound it redefines their narrative. The chaos they unleashed fell silent against the unshakable power of your stillness. While they scrambled to manipulate perceptions and rewrite reality, you remained rooted in purpose, knowing that truth requires no defense. Your refusal to engage wasn't submission, it was deliberate, a sign of strength they couldn't comprehend. While they sought to bait you into conflict, their own desperation unraveled, revealing the hollow core of their schemes. You stood firm, unmoved, as the very lies they spun tightened around them. Their downfall wasn't orchestrated by you. It was born from their own inability to control what they had set into motion. The calm you embodied wasn't retreat. It was an unspoken declaration that some battles are won by standing unwavering, letting the truth dismantle the noise on its own. Their loudest efforts could never silence the strength of your quiet endurance. They failed to grasp the power of remaining steady amidst the chaos, underestimating how resilience speaks volumes without the need for retaliation. While they frantically tried to pull you into their mess, you stood apart, unbothered and untouched, letting their own actions dismantle their facade. The more they shouted, the more they exposed themselves, revealing the insecurities that drove their desperation. And when divine intervention came, it wasn't subtle. It tore through their carefully crafted plans, leaving nothing but ruins behind. Your stillness wasn't weakness. It was the ultimate display of control, waiting for the right moment when every move they made would collapse under its own weight. What they mistook for passivity became your greatest strength, amplified by a higher power that moved decisively on your behalf. This was never just a reckoning, it was a declaration to the world. The cosmic balance has shifted, making it clear that no harm goes unnoticed and no lie endures unchallenged. Every deceit, every manipulation, every calculated act of malice became evidence in a judgment they didn't see coming. The warnings were there, etched into eternity, but arrogance blinded them to the inevitable. They mistook silence for permission, failing to recognize that their actions were sealing their fate. This isn't merely about setting the record straight. It's a universal reminder that crossing the chosen invite's consequences far beyond human comprehension. They sought to make an example of you, but instead, their downfall became a lasting testament of what happens when you attempt to defy divine protection. The world has taken note, and their actions will remain a cautionary tale carved into the annals of time. Their downfall serves as a stark reminder to anyone who dares to challenge what is divinely protected. This is not merely the consequence of their actions, it is a statement etched into the awareness of all who witness it. The path they chose, lined with deceit and arrogance, has turned into a warning sign for others. The next time someone contemplates striking against those aligned with divine purpose, they will recall the unrelenting justice that follows. Defending what is sacred is never a quiet affair. The response is profound, unmistakable, and unforgettable. The message is clear. Challenging the chosen is not just a mistake, it's an inevitability of defeat. Those who rise against such purpose will find themselves brought lower than they ever imagined. When divinity is on your side, storms don't destroy you, They yield, ensuring no falsehood or malice can ever triumph. You carry within you a purpose that cannot be undone. Your journey is no accident. It is a deliberate design for greatness, unshaken by the schemes of others. No earthly force can alter the path that has been set for you. While others may conspire, their efforts vanish like fleeting shadows against the enduring light of your destiny. The final word rests with divine authority, one that does not waver or falter. You exude a presence that not only protects, but commands reverence. Your purpose is more than safeguarded. It is celebrated in dimensions, both seen and unseen. Walk with the certainty of someone chosen for extraordinary things. Their attempts to undermine you only serve to emphasize your unbreakable resolve. The game they play is already lost, and even they are beginning to grasp that truth. Dear brothers and sisters, the peace of God be with you today. I am here to remind you of a profound truth. Our existence is grounded in God's divine plan, unshaken by the temporary concerns of the world. As the Bible says, whatever is done in faith will return to God in abundant blessing. Luke 6:38. Like that great oak tree, our roots are deeply rooted in God's universal truth. Every step we take, every stand we take, is secured by His strength. And now, you are being offered the opportunity to be part of that blessing. When you use the Super Thank You button and donate $100, this gesture will come back to you 100-fold in abundance. Their attempts to distort your reality may echo loudly, but the resonance of your truth eclipses it effortlessly. Every action you take, every stride forward, solidifies the undeniable fact that you are guided and shielded by a power beyond their reach. They may try to throw obstacles in your way, yet your purpose cuts through their barriers as though they never existed. You are not merely progressing, you are ascending, propelled by a momentum they cannot halt. So continue to move with unwavering confidence. Let them observe and speculate. You owe them no explanations. Your existence is evidence enough, and your strength flows from an authority they cannot challenge. Their schemes cannot alter what has been divinely decreed, nor can they diminish the crown that is rightfully yours. You walk in the certainty of one who has been chosen, and no force can diminish that truth. There is an unseen force that stands beside you, protecting the essence of your destiny. Those who sought to harm you were blind to the power encircling you. Their lies and attempts to wound you were not the strikes they believed. They were the sparks that ignited an uncontainable force within you. Their attacks awakened what they could never comprehend, setting into motion a transformation they could not control. What they meant to destroy only served to refine, stripping away illusions and revealing the brilliance of truth that cannot be tarnished. What they thought would diminish you instead exposed their miscalculations, leaving your authenticity to shine brighter than ever before. Feel the call? Step into your potential. Subscribe now and let's rise together. Every effort they made to obscure your brilliance only sharpened its radiance, exposing the flaws in their own facade. They believed their actions would diminish you, yet instead, they became the architects of their own undoing. What they didn't anticipate was the silent, unrelenting power surrounding you, a force dismantling their schemes with precision and leaving no room for deception to thrive. Those who protect your destiny don't announce their presence. They embody strength in silence, dismantling falsehoods with an unyielding authority. The ones who sought to harm you now confront the consequences of their ignorance, overwhelmed by the very force they thought they could control. You don't engage in battles as they do because your strength isn't singular. It's fortified by something immeasurable, a truth so expansive that it cannot be contained, silenced, or extinguished. Now, they stand amidst the wreckage of their own creation, powerless to touch what was never theirs to take. You were never fragile. You were always indomitable. Their tactics have been exhausted, their manipulations exposed, and their illusions shattered for all to see. What they intended to erase has only grown more visible, leaving them as mere observers to your triumph. Their carefully orchestrated schemes couldn't bear the weight of truth and collapsed under their own falsehoods. While they search for a place in a narrative that was never theirs, you step forward into a space that was always meant for you. Your rise is undeniable, and their efforts to suppress you have only amplified your light. Their whispers of malice have faded into insignificance, overshadowed by the clarity and power you now command. Their failure isn't just apparent, it's a testament to your unyielding victory. Their attempts to undermine you now echo louder in their own downfall than in any accusations they ever made. Stripped of credibility, they are left with the bitter reminder of their failure, their voices silenced by the undeniable brilliance of your achievements. The spotlight is yours now, and their moment is over. There are no reprises or second chances for those who sought to rewrite what was never theirs to control. They are relegated to the role of onlookers, forced to bear witness to every step of your ascent, a constant reminder of their futile attempts to alter your destiny. Your triumph is more than a fleeting victory. It is a declaration of strength and purpose. Every stride you take pulls you further from the shadows they cast, leaving behind a legacy of envy and regret in their wake. They wanted to author your downfall, but their story became the opening chapter of your reign. This isn't just a success, it's a resounding proclamation. You were always destined to rise. Your resilience is more than proof of divine power. It is a signal, a stark warning to anyone bold enough to challenge what is divinely guarded. You are not merely a testament to survival. You are a reminder that challenging the unstoppable only leads to self-destruction. Each attempt to undermine you was met with a force they couldn't predict or withstand. Their efforts to bend your resolve only forged you into something unbreakable, a presence impossible to ignore or diminish. Your purpose isn't limited to existing. It transforms everything around you, infusing it with meaning, strength, and authority. The atmosphere shifts in your favor, driven by a power that demands recognition. Their attempts to extinguish your light only intensified its brilliance, leaving them to confront the undeniable truth that their schemes not only failed, but amplified your strength. Their defeat is no quiet loss. It's a bold declaration that no force can hinder what is divinely ordained. Your presence carries an energy that unsettles those who operate in deception, a vibrancy that cannot be silenced. What they believed they could withstand proved too vast for them to contain. Instead of breaking you, they exposed their own vulnerabilities as every action they took became a reflection of their inadequacies. Their lies were never a match for the steady and overwhelming truth that propelled you forward. They didn't just lose control of the narrative, they unraveled under the weight of their own fabrications. Ready to take the first step toward greatness? Subscribe now and let's begin. This is not merely your vindication, it is an ascension. Your story is not one of simple recovery, but of transformation, a testimony that no scheme or falsehood can restrain those aligned with a greater purpose. You've shifted the paradigm, redefined resilience, and proven that divine purpose will always rise above mortal interference. While they linger in the shadows of their shame, you stand in the clarity of light, untouchable and unassailable. You've emerged stronger, having faced the trials and walked through the fire with purpose intact. Your triumph isn't just for you, it is a beacon for others still navigating their challenges. Share your journey with the confidence of one who has seen the depths and risen beyond them. Let your voice ignite hope and remind the world that those chosen to walk with purpose are unstoppable. The stage is yours. Step into it fully and let the impact of your victory echo far into the future. Stand with confidence, knowing the weight of your purpose and the strength of your journey. Your achievements speak for themselves, carrying the undeniable mark of someone guided by an unshakable force. Let the impact of your success ripple outward, turning your story into a beacon of hope and empowerment for others. You are unyielding, unmistakable, and eternally safeguarded by a higher power that no force can rival. Step fully into your destiny, take your rightful place, and let the world bear witness to the emergence of someone unstoppable.